Today we're going to be working on movements that you can do while traveling, thinking road trip or airport. One of the things that's going to be limiting us in our movement practice when we travel is just having floor space. So taking advantage of movements that we can do seated in a chair, such as your car. Little things that we can do just to keep the spine and the hips moving that end up giving us best results for our period of travel. And I want to talk about some really simple movements that we can do while we are in a chair, either like an airplane chair or in a car, even if we're driving the car. Obviously, we're not going to be able to move a whole lot. Airplane chair and a car chair tend to be a little bit restrictive. So I want to focus largely on pelvis, rib movements, a little bit into our shoulders. First thing is we can come back to our crocodile breath. Taking nice inhale into the nose, exhale out through the mouth, and feeling that breath expanding into the abdominal wall. Feel it moving forward into the belly, into the low back, and out through the sides. As you exhale, draw that navel all the way into your spine. With each inhale, see if you can expand a little bit wider. Next, we can start doing a little bit of light pelvic tilts. As we inhale, allow the pelvis to tilt forward so that we get that low back extension. Exhale, navel into the spine as we scoop. Feel that low back, that lumbar flexion. See if you can feel a little bit of stretch in one or both directions. And I want to move slow with the breath. The more we're able to keep our shoulders stacked and not let our shoulders move forward and backwards, the more we're going to isolate that low back area. This does not need to be intense. A little bit of movement just keeps lubrication. It keeps our nervous system kind of active. Otherwise, we get passive and our body just stacks all our joints and we end up like this for a number of hours as we're driving. So I want to keep active movement going through my spine because that helps keep my nervous system actively engaged. Next thing we can work on is getting into shoulders. Nice inhale, shrugging and lightly rounding the shoulders forward. Exhale as we roll the shoulders forward. Inhale as we roll the shoulders down and back. Shrugging up to bring them forward. On the exhale, inhale as we feel them draw down and back, getting nice and tall in our spine. As we get the shoulders moving, we can also combine that with the pelvis. Scooping the pelvis as we round forward so that we combine those stretches, turning it more into a seated cat-cow. And then the last movement that I really like doing while driving that's super simple is lateral movements of the rib cage. Simply feeling that rib, seeing if I can let that rib cage move off my hips side to side. It's a very small and subtle movement, but it's largely moving from the ribs. I'm not moving from the hips. This can be hard to do. It takes a little bit of practice to really feel that lateral glide of the ribs. Note, I'm not moving my shoulders side to side either. Shoulders, for the most part, are going to stay over the hips, but I'm sending my 12th rib, I'm seeing if I can move it just a little bit to the side and then move it a little bit to the side. And we can do a lot of little things playing with the ribs here. Again, imagine we're driving a car or we're stuck in a small seat. I don't need a lot of movement to be able to get some decent mobility into my spine. I can also work making this into circles, where as I reach to the side, I'm extending that rib out, going to the other side, and then reaching back, and just playing with a little bit of circles, side to side, changing the directions of that circle. I can reach one rib forward and then the other rib forward, adding in a little bit of rotational quality in as well. Notice shoulders are moving, but I'm not moving my shoulders. The shoulders move in relationship to the ribs, but really I'm focusing how much can I move from this area of my body while I'm in the chair. You should notice that activates the smaller muscles around the spine, especially low back. And it's largely just keeping coating the joints with synovial fluid, keeping them greased and grooved, and keeping the nervous system alert so that we spend more time, with our core engaged, instead of getting into this lazy, packed position where we end up getting stuck for several hours at a time. Best movements are simple and profound. Simple ones are going to be the ones that you get the biggest bang for your buck.